Hey everybody, it's Taylor with Boydston Grove, and today we're gonna make a really nice gift box using a fence picket. Let's get into it. I wanted to say, let's get into it. Well, the holidays are finally upon us, so it's time to start thinking of gifts that you're going to take to those parties or give to family and friends. A really popular gift over the holidays is either a bottle of wine or a bottle of sparkling cider. So today we're going to make a gift box to put this in that can be repurposed as some decor afterwards.
Win, win, win.
I'm going to be using a 6-inch cedar fence picket for this gift box. They run around $2.90 at the big box store in my area. I started by cleaning up one edge and then cutting it to width. Then I cut it into pieces over at the miter saw to the length of the longest pieces that I will need. I used some carpet tape to mount a piece of 1/2-inch plywood to my table saw fence to make it easier to resaw the boards to their final thickness of 1/2 inch. I managed to get all the pieces for this box out of one fence picket. Then I camped out at the table saw for a while, cutting all the dados and rabbits into all the pieces as needed. I'm making a lot of cuts for dados and rabbits in these pieces, so let me go over them real quick. The back piece is just a simple 14.5 by 4.5 inch board. The two sides are 14.5 by 4.5 inches with a 1/2 inch by 1/4 inch rabbit cut on the bottom and one side, and a 1/4 by 1/4 inch dado on the opposite side, a 1/4 inch from the edge. The top piece is 4.5 inches by 5 inches with a 1/2 inch by 1/4 inch rabbit cut on the two short sides and one long side. The bottom piece is 4.5 inches by 4 inches with a 1/4 by 1/4 inch dado cut on one of the long sides, a 1/4 inch from the edge. Lastly, the front piece, or the lid, is 14.5 by 4 3/8 inches with a 1/4 by 1/4 inch rabbit cut on each long side and one end.
That's a lot.
If you're interested in making this gift box, I have a full set of plans on our website. I'll make sure to leave a link in the description below. With all the cuts made, I got to work sanding them down. Assembly was pretty straightforward, and I only used glue so the box would be nice and smooth with no nail holes to fill. While that was drying, I used a 3/4 inch Forstner bit to drill a hole about 1.5 inches from the top of the front piece, or the lid. This will help slide the lid open and closed. I decided to make a second lid as an alternative so the box could be repurposed once the gift was removed. This of course meant I needed a second picket. All the dimensions are the same as the first lid except for the length, which I made 18 inches and cut to a point using the jigsaw. I marked out some spots as windows and started drilling them out with a 1/2 inch bit. Then I cleaned them up with the jigsaw. If you had some of those cool bits that drill square holes, this would go much quicker. Once the box was dry, I gave it a final sanding and applied a few coats of spray-on lacquer. Last but not least, I used the longer Nano Pro to add some text to the front of the first lid. Our gift box is done, and it's hard to believe that just a few hours ago, this was just a plain old fence picket. Using the longer Nano to put the text on the front really made a big difference, and you can also add some text, maybe a nice little note or to and from on the back, and really make it a personalized gift. Now, there were a lot of cuts for all the rabbits and the dados, but those are something that you can easily batch out and make a bunch of these for gifts this holiday season. Making a different lid like this makes a huge difference because now it's not only a gift box, but it's a piece of home decor that can be used year-round. Now, the one downside to using a fence picket is cedar is a really soft wood, and as you can see, I wasn't careful enough, and I do have a couple nicks and dings here, but I think it'll be all right. All in all, this is a pretty quick project, and like I said, it's something you can easily batch out for gifts or for markets. Thank you very much for watching, be safe, and have a great day.